Good morning, this is Vicki Stout with Happy Stout Art, and I'm about to tape down some Arches paper to my watercolor board. I am going to be painting in gouache today. I have been painting in gouache for the last couple of weeks. Gouache is like a form of watercolor, but it has egg products in it, which makes it act like almost like acrylic paint or oil paint. You paint in layers, and it can be a lot of fun and relaxing to paint in. We're going to do some more clouds today. I want to show you a painting I did last week. I think it was Sunday, and I painted this. This is the Oregon mountains that are nearby me in New Mexico, and it's a thunderhead. And I painted this in gouache. So I'm going to be doing something really similar. I will be pausing the video occasionally because I want you to be able to see the process. Now I'm using my Moft stand, and it's pretty hard to figure out how to do this, so forgive me. But we're going to paint a scenery that I found online. You don't really have to go anywhere to get pictures. You can go to Unsplash to get pictures that are non-royalty, and you can go to Pixel to get pictures that are non-royalty. Or if you're lucky enough like I am, you go on Facebook. There is a channel or group or whatever you want to call it that has pictures that you can use to paint that are free. And I found this, and I'm not going to put the mountain right in the center. I'm going to put it off on the side, so it's going to be a little different. But basically I'm practicing some clouds, and using gouache because I know I can layer it and take away or add as much as I want. And I'm using the Meeden brand gouache, and you can put it on your palette like so. I have this palette that I bought at the Dollar General for $1.50, and you can reconcentrate it just like watercolor. You just add water to it and it'll reconcentrate. It'll reactivate so that you could use it. And so I'm just going to spray some water on this. I'm going to use the same colors that I have here. I'll probably add a little bit more black. And we'll see how this goes. So I'm basically tracing in the shapes of the clouds. They won't be exact. I'm doing it very lightly. I'm using carbon paper underneath my picture to trace the clouds. And I just want to put in their basic form. You don't want to put in too much. You want to make sure that you're not using a really heavy hand, but just heavy enough to see the marks on your paper, because this is going to be white, and I really don't want too much showing through. So I'm going to outline the clouds. And this picture was converted to a watercolor picture so that I could get, exact amounts and whatnot. And I think I'm going to go ahead and draw in the mountain anyways, because it is kind of centered, and the clouds kind of take over the beauty of the mountain. So let's draw that in. And down here we have, on the bottom we have pine trees. So I'm lifting it up to check it to make sure that everything is getting on the paper correctly. So I'm pretty much done with that. So I'll set the picture aside up in front where I can see it, put my carbon paper away, and now I'm going to start looking at the picture and determining what colors I'm going to use. So I'm going to reconstitute my gouache. And like I said, I'm going to add a little bit more black on there, so I have to go get my gouache out of my bag. I'm doing this on the kitchen table, and there's not a whole lot of room to do this. But since my bedroom's being occupied by a roommate, don't pretty much have a studio anymore. pause this. So here I am, I'm back again, and I wet my paints, and like I expected, they are coming back to life. It is going to be 103 here in El Paso today. So as you see, okay, let me set this way. As you can see, I've drawn in my clouds, and I don't know if you can see this on the video, I don't think so. But I'm next to a window where there's a lot of natural light, and the natural light will help you paint better. Let's see, I'm going to add some more. I think I'm going to add the green. Let's see the green. I think I can make my own sap green on this palette. See? I've got green running around here. And then I've got this regular pale green that came with the Meeden gouache set. And then that would be for the trees. But you also want to add a little bit of sky blue. This is called Caribbean blue. To the, let me show you. These are my Meeden gouache paints. I need more of these. I'm trying to get y'all to buy me a Christmas list worth of paints, but if you want to order something for me, this would really be nice. These are high quality paints, so they're very good to use, and especially if you're learning, you're just starting out. And I think I'm going to add in a little bit more white, which I have separate, because sometimes I use the white when I'm doing watercolors. Oh, I gotta find that, hold on. I am running out of the white. And I do have another set of white paints, but they're not as good as the Meeden, so I'm going to have to order some more. I have these, which are student grade, and they're not very good. The white is actually kind of messed up, so it's not very good. So I'm going to need some more white gouache if I'm going to do any more cloud painting, because that's the key ingredient there. So let me start working on this, and I'll try to set the camera where you can see, at least see how I'm doing this. Yeah. There we go. I think you can see the paper very good. So what I want to start with is the clouds, and I just lost my picture. I'm gonna treat my gouache like oils, like I would if I was painting in oils. So I'm going to start with the blue sky up here and kind of outline the clouds. So I'm going to do that first with the what I call as a sky blue, and then maybe a little blue inside of the ultramarine, maybe not blue but ultramarine on the inside of the clouds where there's the dark shadows. And then I'm going to paint around it with the white, and then down here is ultramarine in the mountains, and I'm probably going to leave a little bit of white on the tips just to indicate snow. And then again down here you have, I don't know if you can see that, but you have a line of clouds coming in like fog, and then we have the pine trees. So we're going to do this in steps.